Hello and welcome to the Shaken Up Show. My name is Sanny Rudravajhala and I'm joined today by our goalkeeper. We've got two excellent goalkeepers and I'm joined by Abidan Edwards. Hello, Abidan. How are you doing?
Hello, how are you? How are you, man?
I'm all
I'm
right,
good.
thank you. So you are quite a late addition relatively to the Bury AFC squad. What's it been like for you so far?
Um, I've only played, I think it was 5 minutes in a friendly. But just all in all, it's a great club. Great people. You know, great fans, coaching, staff, players. Like I actually loved every minute of it, to be honest. Even though I haven't been playing, but I've just been enjoying it, getting back involved, man. So yeah.
Yeah, because before you signed for AFC, you were training with Stockport County. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Um,
and
yeah.
lockdown came in.
Yeah. So then, yeah. So I was training with County, and then we got put into lockdown in like March. So obviously I'm from Birmingham originally, so I came back to Birmingham. Was in lockdown, and then yeah, man, it was a really tough summer. Trying to find a club and what am I going to do next. And I had to just do some out of the box thinking and come up with new strategies to try and put myself out there. Really.
Yeah, so yeah, well, let's talk straight about that because a lot of people may have read an article in the Athletic about featuring you. So your move to Bury came about through YouTube, right?
Yeah, correct, man. So I think it was in November. At that point, I've got an agent and he sent me to a club, and then the club seemed keen on me, and then at the last minute they decided, you know what, we don't want to senior goalkeepers, we'll just go with a young lad. So then I was kind of just, left stuck in the mud. Um, and then we went into another lockdown. So at this point it was in the second lockdown. So I thought, you know what, like this is what I want to do with my life. I need to take it to another level, So obviously, I watch quite a few videos on YouTube, keeper training, whatever. And there's just people that do it, So it's not me that's just come up with the idea and it's, wow, amazing. First time anyone's ever done it, But, you know, um, I saw Ben Foster doing it. I was like, you know what, I can do that, And if I can, try and show my abilities through it, then, something good can come through it. And it did in the end. It did, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, exactly. If you think maybe 10, 15 years ago, if a player leaves an academy setup, you know, they're just kind of relying on what scouts and getting the name out there, maybe finding some phone numbers. But now you've got all these additional ways of doing it. So yeah, fair play to you. What was the reaction like? So you put up like some training videos and yeah, how did people respond to it?
Um, you know what? I'll be honest. Like it was just a lot of positivity. People that knew me personally was just like, keep on doing it, keep going, man. Like, just keep showing your training, keep showing your personality online. And eventually something will come through. In fact, the first time I came into training, I hadn't realized that anyone at the club had saw my videos. You know, so obviously when Spen spoke to me and asked me to come down, I came down and obviously I'd watched the documentary on Berry, so I knew faces, I knew he was the gaffer, I knew he was this coach and that coach. So, I was going up to the gaffer to go and shake his hand, and he knew my name straight away. He's like, yes, Abs, and he told me that he liked the YouTube. So, straight away, going into a new club, that does settle me right down, in fact, made me feel really comfortable, to be honest, which, I really liked, man. I really liked.
Yeah, that sounds brilliant. Yeah. Now your journey as far as this point. So you started at I think it's West Brom and then went to Birmingham City. Is that right?
Yeah, correct.
So what was your experience like through the academy system?
Uh, it's a lot of players when they get released, they have like a negative view, but for me, it's just like a great experience. Like some of the players I've managed to play with and play against. Like a lot of the players I've played with are doing really well in the game. There's some floating around in the Championship. Someone's just got promoted from the Championship to the Premier League. So I've played with some quality players. I've managed to gain knowledge. That which is priceless knowledge. So it's a great experience growing up. And it at a young age it kind of whetted my appetite. Because not every young kid, but most young kids, they want to be footballers. But I remember the first time I stepped into West Brom, like in my head, like I knew this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, 100%.
Amazing. So then you went on to Birmingham City. How long were you there for?
Well, I was at Birmingham City for just under a year, so I didn't spend that long at Birmingham City. You know, just because of at the time, you know, I was very egotistic. So you know, I just left school, was full of testosterone, you know, and you know, as a young player, you think you're owed a lot. You know, you're not owed anything by the game. You know, football is ruthless, and I didn't realize at that age. You know, but I learned. You know, I learned a tough lesson there. And then yeah, that's when you know, I made I wouldn't say a job, but I just made a step into non-league. Yeah.
So what would you say to your younger self now from your experiences since you've left?
Just to stay humble, man. Just to stay humble. You know, I think going into an academy it is a good achievement, but you know, when you're that age, you feel like subconsciously you think you've made it. You know, you think this is it. I'm gonna be a professional footballer. You know, I'm there, and you relax. You know, if I had the same work ethic that I do now back then, you know, like I don't know where I'd be. You know, honestly, I'd be a lot further ahead than I am now. You know, but everything happens for a reason. You know, everything happens for a reason. So, you know, I don't try to dwell on it too much. You know, but as I said, I just try and learn from the mistakes I've made in the past. You know, so I don't make them again.
So when you left there, how old were you? And then you went into non-league at that point, right?
I was 17.
So going as a 17-year-old into non-league, that must have been pretty tough, right?
Do you know what? Because of, as I said, my ego, like at first, I thought it was going to be a breeze. I thought it was going to be a duddle, you know, and then, you know, you go into a non-league, you know, changing room for the first time as you said, as a young 17-year-old, and you're with grown men, you know, and some of the things you hear, you know, some of the things you see, yeah, it was a big shock to the system. It was a big shock to the system, you know, and, you know, the way how things are done, you know, training, you know, you're only training 2 nights a week now, you know, it's a big shock to the system, you know, but as I said, eventually I adapted, and, you know, you just get used to it and you learn, you know, as you grow older.
So eventually you have ended up at Bury. I know you do also have some, like, you know, big dreams that you haven't let go of at all, to possibly get into the Jamaica setup, right?
Yeah, correct. So I made contact with at the time he was the under 23s coach. So, you know, Jamaica doesn't have an official under 23s team, but like every couple of years, obviously, you know, you have the Olympics, and they enter at the Caribbean qualifier stage. So I remember I was watching them play, and I've got a friend who's at Leicester. So it was by coincidence that I was watching him play because he was playing for St. Kitts. You know, when I was watching the level, and I was like, you know, I could, you know, you think, you know, I can easily play this level. So and I made contact with them, and obviously at the time I didn't have a club, so there was kind of, you know, it's nothing I can do, nothing they could do for me. And you know, I just knew that that kind of spurred me on more to try and get a club, you know. But fingers crossed when the next round of qualifiers come round, you know, even though I think I'll be like a year too old, but just the way how the system works, I can still, you know, represent them at that level. So yeah, hopefully, or even a senior team, you know, you never know.
Yeah, well, you know, like James Milner was playing for like the under 21 until it was about like 30 or something almost. You know,
yeah,
somehow
exactly.
still fit into it. So, so like, you know, it's strange, isn't it, as a goalkeeper, because there's only not those 92 places. You could be like an amazing goalie, and if your fate doesn't fit, you just don't get the right opportunities. You can struggle to get in anywhere. So at the moment, you're looking to get games, and then lockdown comes in as well. This must be really frustrating for you because you know, you've obviously got ability and you've got ambition as well, and you're kind of being hampered here, right?
Yeah, you know, it is really frustrating, you know, but you know, one thing I've learned with age is just keep a positive mindset, you know, because right now in the situation, I could have easily said, you know what, you know, I'm going to sit around all day, play FIFA. You know, I'm not going to train, and I'm just going to forget about football until it comes back. And then it comes back, and, you know, Ed comes in flying and he's fitter than me, or, you know, do you know what I mean? So, you know, for me, this time, I've just looked at it as an opportunity, because obviously before lockdown, you know, I wasn't playing. So I've looked at it as an opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to get as fit as possible. I'm gonna try and improve on, certain weaknesses that have been highlighted, and I know I've got, and so when we do eventually get back, that I'm the best version of myself. So yeah, man, that's how I try to try and stay motivated, try to keep working hard, keep working smart, and yeah, eventually, hopefully, we get back.
How does it work with goalies as far as teamwork and camaraderie versus being like rivals? Because even when you see like keepers warming up, it's usually like number one and the two working together with a goalie coach or whatever. But equally, you're both trying to like dislodge yourself each other from the team. It's not like a group of defenders, and at least you got 4 spots at least. What's that relationship like?
Well, you know what? To be honest, obviously from the moment I came in, obviously Kai has moved on now, but obviously it was Kai and Ned when I came in, and they were both friendly. Obviously when I came in, Ed was out suspended, so on a match day, obviously he wouldn't be there. So like obviously me and Kai like built like in a short time, like a nice little friendship. Um, actually I haven't messaged him yet, but I'm gonna message him to tell him I'm gonna miss him on a match day. Our little match day routine warming up. It's nice, and I just see it like this. The gaffer's gonna choose the best man, to start and play the game. And that's how it is. And if I want to, be playing, I just need to be the best. I don't need to worry about. I don't think of it as a rivalry. I try and see it as it's GK Union. Goalkeeping Union. Push each other in training. To get the best out of each other. There was an instant, in fact, at training with me and Ed, and this is where I said, pride and ego comes into it. So we was going through a drill, and in between the drill, I probably should have been, running, jogging, but I was walking, it was hard work, spin works was hard. And remember, Ed just he said, come on, Abs, come on, what the hell, And, there's a part of me that was like, who's he talking to? But then, there's another part of me that it was like, he's right, and those are the kind of players I like, that push each other, that's what I do like, because that's only going to make me better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, in the meantime, you're training on your own, or you're training with other coaches, right? Or you were during lockdown. What would those days look like for you? Give us a day in the life of Abs, the goalie.
So during lockdown or before lockdown?
Yeah, when you were lockdown training, when we were allowed to train, but get out and about. What was that looking like for you?
Um,
Because we've seen bits on YouTube, of course, as well.
it depends really. So just before we got put into this full on lockdown, I was lucky enough to be able to work with Aaron Cameron from Wigan. So he's the first team goalkeeping coach there. And there was a group of us, a group of goalies. So for about an hour and a half, I'll be doing that. Before that, I try and get like a gym workout in as best as I can, with the free weights I've got. And then I've got like a bag of balls, and I think for me, I probably shouldn't say this out in public, but I'm going to say it. Probably my biggest weakness is, I say, my distribution. So literally I just, there's a park by where I live, and I just literally go and strike balls, till I can't strike anymore. And then just literally go again the next day. And just, yeah, that's it, man. Just, it's about a routine, really.
Yeah, well, it worked for David Beckham. Practice makes perfect and all that. You can only get better through carrying on practicing. So yeah, brilliant. I mean, that's great to as a fan as well, especially Bury fans. We were watching Bury FC. There was a time where we had a large squad, and we were carrying a few players, and you wondered about the commitment to the players that we had there. And obviously, now we're in non-league, it's very, very different. We know all the players that are joining us, want to play. So hearing that there's players, going the extra mile as well, just working and bettering themselves, and trying to get into the first team is, it's really positive for us to hear. We're just looking forward to seeing everyone play again. That's the thing at the moment, of course, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thinking about your development growing up, were there any players or coaches that kind of were big influences for you, would you say?
I wouldn't say players, but there's a few coaches. So the first ever goalkeeper coach I had. So I went into West Brom when I was 14, and before that I'd never had any goalkeeping coaching at all. So the first goalkeeping coach I had was Mark Naylor. He's at Aston Villa now, but he was a massive influence because, for prime example, you know, a goalkeeper set position. You know, before I went into there, I couldn't catch the ball at all. You know, it's just about just parrying everything. You know, it's really unorthodox. But he taught me about, you know, having a set position. You know, body weight forward. You know, so and I've carried that all the way through to like right now. You know, when I carry it all the way through my career, and then, you know, off the top of my head, just recently, I'd Aaron from Wigan. You know, for those that have watched my channel and watched not my last video, the one before that, you know, it's a good watch because there's certain parts where he stops and he picks out certain things, and he picks out so like tiny details, and they make the world of difference. You know, so he taught me something called the patter. You know, pattering your feet instead of bouncing up and down, and then, you know, everything was just sticking. So I'd say those two goalkeeping coaches, obviously Mark from when I was really young, and obviously Aaron, you know, right now, you know, big influences on me, definitely.
And so thinking back to, you know, growing up as a kid, how did you get into goalkeeping in the first place?
So when I started playing football in the team when I was 9, you know, I wanted to be, you know, I'm still fast now, to be honest, but I was really fast when I was young. I wanted to be a striker, you know. I was just thinking goals. And then, you know, by the way, I played 4 games and scored 4 goals, 4 and 4. I'm sure that's better than Tom and Greasy's record, but
calling him out now.
But then I remember one of the games, you know, our keeper, he was crying, he was cold, you know, he was young, he didn't want to be there, you know, and I remember I got subbed off, you know, and I just wanted to get back on the pitch. So I was like to my coach, I'll go in goal, you know, and I went in goal, and it was fun, you know, just throwing myself about, you know. But at that age, you know, I thought it was a one-off thing, and I didn't want it to be a regular thing, you know. I just thought I'd go in goal that game, maybe a couple more times, but I'm a striker. But then I literally went and goal that game, and then after that, our keeper never came back. So it was me that was in goal, and
he must have seen you playing and thought better of it. How old were you then?
I was like, maybe I was 11, 10, 11.
Oh, right, okay.
But then like I had like a breakout football where I didn't play football for like a year, and then when I came back, then I was like, that was it. I was a goalkeeper, you know. But at first, I'll be honest, I didn't enjoy it. You know, you know, you just think you're not important. You're just standing there, you know. You see, obviously, as a youngster, you see the game a lot different to how you do now. So at first, I didn't enjoy it. And then, you know, over time, I've just fallen in love with the position, to be honest.
And how did the move to West Brom come about through that then?
So I would never forget it. And I can tell you the exact dates and everything, because it was, I remember I got scouted on my birthday. So I got scouted on my 14th birthday. I remember it was a Sunday. I was playing for my Sunday league side, Continental Star. And I remember the week before, like, you know, as a Sunday league player, you know, one of the scouts there, you know, doing the tracksuit and you know, the kitted out. So you try and up your game a bit. And I remember we got spanked the week before by a team in the league above. And the scout was there, so in my head was like, I was trying to think how I played, and I was asking my manager, and my manager wasn't letting anything off. But I think the scout fancied me and another player at the time, so he came back next game, sorry. And I didn't have much to do, you know. But I remember seeing the scout, he was standing behind my goal, and then after the game, yeah, like they said that we was going, you know, that they wanted to have a look at us. But what happened is, so me and the other player, we were told we're going to like the development centre, you know, which I was still happy with, you know. And then I remember on a Tuesday, so it was 2 days after my birthday, now we're on the 9th of October. On a Tuesday, I remember I left school. I remember I had some birthday money, so I went to town. I was like, I'm going to get some new gloves. Couldn't find any gloves. And then I was running late because I went to go and look for some new gloves. You know, we was meant to be meeting at like a certain point. Then I got there, and it was just my mom and my coach from my Sunday team, you know, and the other player wasn't there. So I was thinking, oh no, like I've missed it, I've messed up. You know, my mom didn't seem happy with me either. And then my coach just told me to get in his car, and my mom followed behind. And then we was driving, and you know, my coach wasn't speaking to me. You know, it was a bit weird. And then I remember we got to the side of the Hawthorns, you know, and I knew that the development centre trained like at a different part of Birmingham. So I looked at my coach, you know, like what's going on, you know, and he looked at me. He's like, you go on and try with the academy, you know, and you know at that I remember I had like butterflies. I was hyperventilating, and then yeah, I remember at the time that so West Brom's academies like it's based at the side of the first team ground. So I remember we got into the car park, and I remember at the time they were building their 4G, which we've got now, and then you see this massive dome, you know, and then like anyone who asked me, I'll tell this exactly the same because it was literally like I'm not over exaggerating or anything, but it was at that point that was like the biggest thing that happened to me in my life, and it was like a dream come true, you know. Like I walked into the academy, like so I walked into the dome, sorry, and you look from right to left, and you know when you see all these proud parents at the side just watching their sons, you know, and then you know you see the on the 12s, on the 13s and 14s, you just see them getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then right at the end, I remember seeing Mark Naylor, who's you know a really tall guy, and then you know loads of goalkeepers, and for me just walking into somewhere and seeing everyone kitted out in the same stuff, it was just you know it was crazy at the time, you know, really crazy.
That sound amazing. So thinking about the future now. Well, actually, before I do that, actually, because I know you ended up playing at the Pascal Chimbonda Academy as well, right? What was the
Yeah.
deal there? Because he's a bit of a cult hero, isn't he, in the north? Well, certainly for Wigan at the very least.
So I moved to Manchester obviously last season, and like I came into the I was put in touch with you know Pascal, you know, and he wanted to basically just get like the best under 23 players that he knew, and you know train full time and you know play like academy sides and men's side. Um, so I remember we played Macclesfield at the start of last season. Um, we did okay, and there was some interest there. Um, and then you know we didn't play a lot. We didn't play a lot of high teams, and then I remember in February we played Brentford, their B team, you know, and we beat them. And you know, I think that was a high point for me last season. You know, last season was a tough season. You know, not playing a lot of games and not being signed anywhere, but beating Brentford B team, it was really good. And I remember afterwards, one of their players did an interview, and he was like that. We, you know, we should have been getting beat by them. You know, and I remember the game so vividly. You know, it was crazy because they probably thought they was going to turn us over. You know, 9, 10, 11. You know, when it got to half time and it was 0-0, and it looked like they was panicking. And then I remember they scored, you know, but we didn't panic. And then we got the equaliser, and then they were panicking again, you know, because I don't think they didn't know how to, you know, what to do. You know, who's this, you know, private academy side coming to beat us, championship side? And then remember we scored the winner in like the 89th minute. You know, it was like we won a league or something. You know, it was, you know, scenes in the dressing room afterwards. But nah, man, Pascal Chimbonda's academy, it is good. You know, there's some good lads there, and you know, Pascal, me going into there, you know, sometimes you have preconceptions of people. You know, and I think, you know, he's gone to the World Cup with France, you know, he's won the Carling Cup, he's played in the Premier League, Championship League One, you know, he's probably gonna be a bit big time, you know, and he's the complete opposite. He's just so, you know, relaxed and laid back, and you know, he's a cool guy, man. He's a cool guy, man. He's a really cool guy. And he's not a bad coach either.
Well, there you go. Thinking about those players you're playing with in those private sides playing against academies, the players that end up at those squads, are they having a similar journey to yourself? Have they come through academy setups and then looking for another opportunity?
So quite a few of the boys are French, so I'm not sure of their playing background over in France. But you know, a couple of them had opportunities over here. So kind of similar, yeah, kind of similar, sort of.
And have any of those, it's tough, isn't it? You're trying to get a place at a professional side if possible. You're trying to get a contract. You wanting to do the best that you can, and the door might get closed in your face. Does it ever feel like these players are at a last chance sort of saloon, or are they all just kind of, did they ever feel like maybe giving up or anything like that? Have you ever felt like that as well?
I think at an earlier stage in my career, yeah, you know, But for me, it just comes down to understanding how football works. For me, I saw it like this. If I get told no, or get released or whatever, like I've just got to work harder. Got to get better. Managers are always looking for the next best thing. You're not performing and you're gonna be replaced. It's a brutal business. And growing up, I didn't. You know that, but you don't comprehend it. You don't really understand it. You feel sorry for yourself, but I've realised you can't feel sorry for yourself. You got to pick yourself up, and go again because I'm not being forced to play football. This is what I want to do. So yeah, man.
What are you doing outside of football? How are you managing to keep yourself going in the meantime as well?
Honestly, all I do, listen. If I'm not thinking about football, I'm playing it. If I'm not playing it, I'm watching it. Like I don't really, I rarely have any downtime. Obviously, sometimes, yeah. Chilling out, watching Netflix. Obviously, in lockdown, you can't see friends or anything, so it's just that, yeah, really. But other than that, I think right now I'm just focused on, yeah, man, football.
So you've not got a job outside of football at the moment?
No.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, fair play. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've got a feeling you might not be with us for too long. With the level of dedication that you've got, and ambition as well. We might not even get to see you play at this rate. Who knows? But just changing tack here. It's 2021, and I have to have this conversation with you because even though you wouldn't think you would at this stage in the world, but we've had news recently about racist comments coming through on social media, from some of the best players in the game, Marcus Rashford being one. And I spoke to Liam McDevitt about this as well, and his experiences in non-league, as a black player and as a goalkeeper as well. What's your experiences been of racism in the game, or was it something that's not affected you at all?
If I'm being honest and controversial, I haven't had any like bad experience with like fans, being racist. For me, as I said, growing up, I kind of say I was probably growing up in non-league, from 17 on to now, so I spent like a good 5 years in non-league. I think one thing I found tough when I was younger is, just hearing someone like the things that other players say in the change rooms, and it's passed off as banter, and being young and having no influence, having no voice, you kind of you laugh. I remember being young and laughing it off, like, and it was a bit awkward, but yeah, I think those are my only types of experiences, hopefully I don't have to experience that. Well, I haven't for a while now, but hopefully I never experience it again. And in terms of fans being racist, hopefully I never experience that, because I've saw the players get that abuse, and it obviously it's not nice, not nice at all.
And as a black goalkeeper as well, there aren't too many in British football. Have you ever come across anyone with, preconceived ideas of what a goalkeeper looks like as far as coaches or anything like that?
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Maybe not coaches, but other players. You come in the changing room and you sit down, with your trial list. Everyone's friendly, everyone's nice, and then you take your boots out, and then you take your gloves out, and then it's a massive shock. Everyone assumes you're gonna be a winger or a striker or even a centre back. So yeah, man. But when it comes to that sense, like that doesn't get me down. That kind of motivates me. This is why I say on my channel, listen, I want to go as high as possible. Because as you said, there's not many black goalkeepers, in the game, and the last black goalkeeper I can remember playing in the Premier League, correct me if I'm wrong, is probably David James. Or obviously apart from Mendy now, sorry, but yeah, before that, David James, so it's tough for me to even to remember how many black goalkeepers there have been at the top of the game. So, that just kind of motivates me even more to get to where I want to get to,
Well, it's great to hear that you've kind of used that, the stereotypes coming your way, as something to motivate you and not let it, grind you down and do the opposite. I suppose if you're going in with the mindset that you need to prove yourself in the first instance, then it's only going to push you on even further, right?
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%.
Well, it's been great having a chat to you. And yeah, I think we're really looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing you play. Although I'm also looking forward to signing somewhere else and getting back up the table. So we'll have to wait and see. But I think it's about time for a quiz. How do you feel about it?
Nervous because I'm bad at quizzes, but let's go.
Right. So what I've done is I've thrown together some questions, 10 questions. Right. Have you got a pen and paper?
No, I haven't. Can I use my phone?
I should have told you that in advance, shouldn't I? Have you got your phone or anything? You can type on there.
Yeah, I type in my phone.
Okay. Right. So it's a quiz. It's a mixture of stuff about Bury because you're relatively new, so you might not even been to Bury that much. You can learn a little bit about Bury maybe, and then some questions of other people who have taken to alternative means of promoting themselves as far as football is concerned. So you ready? Question number 1. All right, it's a multiple choice question for this one. So at home, everyone, you've got a moment to get a pen and pencil. See if you can write these down. Write these down, and I'll go through the answers at the end. Right. So number 1, Bury AFC's goalie shirt is green, abs. But what color is the alternate shirt? The alternative shirt. And I'll give you multiple choice in this. Is it blue, grey, pink, or yellow? So type down an answer. So is it blue, grey, pink, or yellow?
Oh, that one's easy.
Right, you got that one. Okay, number 2, and I really hope you get this wrong, actually. Who is the chairman of Bury AFC? So write down, or type it down.
Do we need the last name as well?
Yes.
Oh, no. I don't know who it is. Oh, no. Oh. My mind's gone blank. I do know it. Listen, for everyone watching this, I know who the chairman is. I promise you.
No, this is good. This is good because we're a big group of volunteers and fans, not just one person.
I promise.
Anyway, right. Question number 3. So the Metrolink, the tram that runs from across Greater Manchester, runs from Bury to Piccadilly Station. How many stops is it to Piccadilly? So Piccadilly would be this last number. So I'll give you a choice of 3. Is it 8, 11, or 13? So you can write down an answer. Type down an answer somewhere. 8, 11, or 13. So by the time you get to Piccadilly, is it the 8th stop, the 11th stop, or the 13th stop?
I'm gonna change my answer. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. Yeah.
All right. Question 4. Now you aren't the first player to go onto YouTube to show your abilities. Probably one of the first was Owen Hargreaves, who ended up signing him off the back of his videos.
I think I do know this, to be honest, because I remember when he left United. Yeah, I remember.
All right. Question 5. Michael Owen also promoted himself. What did he do? How did he do it? What did he put out? So Michael Owen, he was on a free transfer, and he released something to get him a new club.
I'll be honest, that one's going to have to get left blank. I have no clue.
All right. Question 6. What club signed Michael Owen after seeing the thing that he released?
Maybe. Yeah, them. So he was at Liverpool, then he went to Newcastle, then United. Did he play for us? Okay,
Ready for the next one?
That's an educated guess, yeah. Ready.
Ben Foster uploads videos. You'll know this one. To what site? It's an easy one.
I'm struggling with that, struggling.
Question 8. What is the name of his channel?
I think I've done pretty well, to be honest. I've done really well.
I think I've named. I think I've messed up my numbering here, but anyway. Question number 9. Over lockdown, Robert Lewandowski filmed himself doing press ups and training. But what was strange about the weight he was using when he was doing press ups?
Okay, listen, if I get this question wrong, it's going to sound so weird, but yeah.
All right. I think this one might be. So what happened was, right? What happened was that my Owen Hargreaves question, I wasn't supposed to say what the channel was. I wasn't supposed to say it was on YouTube. So I lost one of my questions. But anyway, I think this must be 9. Maybe it's 10. We'll have to check. To the nearest hour, right? So you've got your mission to get to the Olympics, right? Which Tokyo. To the nearest hour, how long would it take to fly from Manchester to Tokyo? Right, and final question, which may be 10 or maybe 11, but I messed it up.
11.
Right.
I think it's 11.
Right, okay. Michael Owen, he released something, right? And in it, there were some buzzwords to describe him. Which of these buzzwords were used to describe him? Charismatic, stylish, cool, or clean and fresh? Which I know is 2 words, but charismatic, stylish, cool, or clean and fresh? Which of those words would describe Michael Owen?
I wouldn't describe him with neither, to be honest, but this is going to be another educated guess.
Right, are you ready for some answers?
Okay, yeah, so what's the best someone's got out of 10 or out of 11?
I think Greasy got 8. I think it was. Okay, question number 1. What color's the away goalie shirt? Pink, correct. Yep. Number 2. Who is the chairman of Bury AFC?
Chris Murray.
Oh, he's got it right. Yes. What stop would Piccadilly be from the Metrolink from Bury to Piccadilly? The 8th, the 11th, or the 13th?
I went with the 11th.
It's the 13th stop. So you're on 2 out of 3. What did Owen Hargreaves? Oh, who did he sign for?
Was it Man City?
It was Man City. Yeah.
Yes. Come on.
All right. Question 5. What did Michael Owen release?
I didn't put an answer. I didn't have a clue.
Oh, he released a 32-page brochure. Like an actual catalog magazine. Michael Owen, former Ballon d'Or winner and all that. Who signed him though off the back of that brochure?
Okay, this was an educated guess because I couldn't think he was signed for around that time. So I don't think he played for. I don't even know if he played for the club, but Stoke.
It was Man United. Yeah,
but
this is great. This is positive for you though, right? Because 2 players put their names out there, signed for United and City. All right, so I think this is question 7. What's the name of Ben? Where does Ben Foster put his videos?
YouTube.
Yeah, that's correct. YouTube. And what's the name of his channel?
Cycling GK.
Cycling GK. Yeah, he's doing well here. What have you got on the score so far? I should have made a note of that as well.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm 5 now.
Robert Lewandowski. What was strange about the weights he was using doing his press ups?
Okay, as I said, listen, this answer may sound way off it, but this is because this is just what I saw. Is it because it was his wife?
Close, close. It was his daughter.
Oh
He had his
no!
3-year-old daughter on his back doing press ups.
Oh,
Close though, close. To the nearest hour, Manchester to Tokyo.
I went with 20.
17. 17 out, 17. Close. And out of charismatic, stylish, cool, or clean and fresh for Michael Owen and his brochure, which word did you pick?
I went with charismatic.
Well, all of them were used in the brochure.
Oh wow, wow, wow.
Yep, charismatic. That's the word, apparently. So that leaves you with a score of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm looking at 6. Is that right? Have I got that right or have I got it wrong?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Yeah, 6.
Well,
Yeah.
you've not quite beat Tom Greaves, but I thought it was a good go. It was a good go.
Disappointed in myself, to be honest. Disappointed. I was so close on some of them. So close.
Oh, your next YouTube video is just going to be you like training quizzes, right? Quiz training.
I'm gonna have to, man. I need to get the general knowledge up. I need to get it
His
up, man.
dad's playing Trivial Pursuit on his on his own. Well, it has been an absolute pleasure to talk to you, and all the best with your future career as well. And yeah, look forward to seeing you in a Berry shirt, green or pink, or maybe even white if they put you up front. Who knows? You and Tom Greaves.
Last minute of the game. Last minute of the game. The gaffer knows what I can do. The gaffer knows what I can do.
Nice one. Right. Well, best of luck with the rest of it anyway. And yeah, looking forward to seeing more videos in lockdown. If you want to have a watch of your YouTube channel, how can you find it?
Just literally go onto YouTube and type in my name, Abidan Edwards, or just go to my Twitter account and the link is in my bio. Just click it and it will bring you right there.
Brill. Well, thanks again. And yeah, best of luck. And we'll hopefully see you in a Berry AFC shirt soon. See you later.
See you later. Thanks very much.